the nerve may get into ischemia.
Yeah, good afternoon everybody. Yeah, I'll be talking on applied anatomy of truncal block, but first we should thanks this guy Hugo Salman, who invented the concept of abdominal analgesia. He was the first to start, but then later on general anesthesia took over the regional anesthesia and this art was lost. Okay. These are the dermatomal map, you should remember. This is how the distribution of the nerve. This is the posterior dorsal rami branches which supply the posterior part of the skin, and this is the ventral rami which continues to supply the anterior part. Now, before going to the lumbar paravertebral block, I'd like to know that we should know the area of our interest, since we should know some facts regarding the vertebra. Now, this distance of the length of the total length of the spinous process from this part is almost an inch, that is roughly around 3 centimeter. And from here to here is 2 centimeter, and from here is another 3 centimeter. So total length of the anterior part to the spinous process is 8 centimeter. The another interesting fact is that the pedicle is oriented almost 10 to 11 degrees to the spinous process. So if you are at 3 centimeter away from the midline, you will land up with the facet joint. And am I audible? Yeah. And if you are at 4 centimeter away from the midline and you direct your needle medially, then you have more chances of ending in the central neuroaxial block. So in order to avoid that, your ideal point should be 4 centimeter from the midpoint. And the length of the transverse process is usually 2 to 2.5 centimeter. And the psoas major muscle, which is a point of interest, is attached till the middle 2/3 of the transverse process, and rest is the quadratus lumborum. So our area of interest will be in this part. That's what I had summarized here. Length of the spinous process is roughly 3 centimeters. So in a thin patient, once we palpate the spinous process, our needle, we should get stimulation at not less than 4 centimeter. But in obese patient, where we are not able to palpate the spinous process, roughly the subcutaneous thickness can be anywhere between 2 to 3 centimeter, and accordingly to that we have to judge there. But the main the distance between the transverse process and the plexus is almost constant. It is almost 2 centimeter. So once you are hitting the bone, that is the transverse process, within 2 centimeter you should be getting the plexus. This is to give the idea about the dural sleeve. It can come right up to the pedicle. So that's why it's essential that your needle should be that much away from the midline. Okay, this is another overview. This is iliac crest, which we are using as a landmark. Now, in some patients, there is a high iliac crest, so that the intertrochlean, the point between these two lines can be as good as up to the level of L3 vertebra. So that we have to take into consideration. Second thing is the height of each height of the vertebra is 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so that will help you in calculating the number of vertebral height. And the other thing important in this structure is, you see the kidney in the right side, the lower pole of the kidney is almost at the level of L3 lower border, and the left side is at the upper border of the L3. So these landmarks helps in identifying whether we are where are the kidneys. And the other important thing is they are almost 6 to 7 centimeter away from the midline. So if your point of insertion is almost 5 centimeter from the midline, your direction should not be laterally in order to prevent the trauma. Okay. This is another transverse section at that level. As I said, this is a psoas muscle, and the plexus will be lying in this level. Okay. This is the anterior view of the posterior muscle. This is psoas and the iliacus and the quadratus lumborum. Okay. These are the plexus which will be coming now here. This is an important slide because when we give at L4 level, what happens is we are missing the posterior rami of L1 to T12 to L2. Those branches, those are given up posteriorly, so they will not be blocked when you give the lumbar paravertebral. They are to block separately at the level of iliac crest. From the highest point of the iliac crest, just 5 centimeter posteriorly, inject subcutaneously over the iliac crest, and you will be you can easily do the hip surgeries very well, comfortably. This is just to give an idea of how the ventral rami of the L1 goes close to the iliac crest anteriorly. Okay, this is the external oblique, internal oblique, and the transverse abdominis. And the neurovascular bundle will lie in the plane between the transverse abdominis and the internal oblique. So this landmark is useful when you are doing tab block. Okay, these are the neurovascular bundle which lies between these two planes. And for the rectus sheath block, skin, subcutaneous tissue, this is just to give you an idea where the neurovascular bundle is. It's in the posterior wall of the rectus sheath. Okay. This is various cut section: the external oblique, the internal oblique, the transverse abdominis, and the rectus. Yeah. These are again the various distribution and the ilioinguinal and the ilio hypogastric nerve. They pierce the internal oblique and then come superficially. So the point to block them is just at the level of ASIS, come 2 centimeter medially and above. First prick, you come between internal oblique and the external oblique. There will branch. You will be blocking the ilioinguinal, and then you have to go further between internal oblique and the transverse abdominis to block the E. But if you are giving TAP block, you will be blocking all the things. Okay. This is just to give transectional view, transverse view when you are doing sonography. This is rectus sheath, rectus muscle, anterior rectus sheath, posterior rectus sheath, and the muscles they originate, the external oblique, internal oblique, and the transverse. The muscle, the neurovascular bundle will lie between the internal oblique and the transverse abdominis muscle. Here below the arcuate line, what happens is all the rectus sheath posteriorly is bare because all the muscle fibers comes anteriorly. That is the only thing. That's all. And this is for the ilioinguinal nerve, as I said, and iliohypogastric nerve block. That's all. Thank you.